If women are all hardwired to want the highest value man, why would they ever cheat on their rich husband to be with a pool boy?
Because the rich husband did not give them the attention and love that they craved.
Men know that they can get a 10. You know, they know that they can get a woman who is gorgeous, hot, every guy wants her, but they know what that comes with, which is bitchy, entitled, hot. Every guy wants her. She's typically doesn't take accountability. So there's a crazy hot matrix for guys. Okay. With women, we have we can go after the pool boy, but if all the other women are going after him, his likelihood of cheating is going to be probably really high. So we might choose someone who is a little bit more comfortable for us. The relationship is fine. It's a great relationship. It's a decent relationship. But then after being married for 20, 15, however many years, she's raised the kids. She has done her due. She's looking for some excitement. And the man in her life and the marriage has kind of given up a little bit. Women are actually a lot dirtier than men think. But that doesn't mean that they're going to act on it. They just want these fantasies ignited within their relationship, and they want the man to provide the spontaneity and the novelty, and so that's why I think women will give up and go towards the pool boy, because they are hypergamous in nature, but they also crave, the creature comforts of a man that's going to provide a safe life for them until they get bored.
Well, what's considered more high value, being rich or being in shape?
Oh.
That may be accurate. It depends on what underlying philosophies are going along with it. So sometimes being in shape is vain. Sometimes being in shape is for health. Sometimes being wealthy is greedy. Sometimes being wealthy is because you're a hard worker. So I don't think it's the outcome as much as the motivation.
Good-looking guys who are dumb as rocks, who provide no emotional or intellectual stimulation for a woman, unfortunately, that's not very high value. It's a hard place to be. I mean, being rich as well. If you're a workaholic and you're never home with your kids and you're gone all the time, women don't necessarily want that either. So they really want a combination of someone who is emotionally available. I know I say that all the time, and women say that all the time. Guys are like, what does that mean?
It doesn't work like that.
They would much rather you making $80,000 a year and be home and be there and be involved in the relationship than just be rich and gone or hot and dumb.
Why is male heterosexuality so stigmatized while gay and female sexuality is celebrated?
Oh.
Gotcha, bitch.
You said male heterosexuality is stigmatized? In
yes,
what way?
It is.
Again, I think that's wrong. I think that male sexuality is celebrated and that female sexuality is what people are afraid of.
One key that opens a lot of locks is a great key, and one lock that opens for any key is a bad lock. Like that phrase, I think that's morally wrong. And
shout out to Myra Gaines.
Really, I think that men are allowed to be more sexual than women.
Why are there slut walks for women and pride marches for gays?
Oh.
Because these are people that were marginalized for a long time, and now they feel that they can, have a little bit more of control.
Why are women so welcoming of gay men, but when women talk about straight men, guys are dogs, creeps, perverts, pedophiles, predators, and incels?
All that. Yup.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yup.
They are.
Oh, man, goddamn.
The way people think about men is because they've been terrible forever. And so we're just going to keep thinking that they're terrible the more they do terrible things.
Cut that out, you little bastard.
I don't shame men. So I can't answer this question.
A lot of women have been hurt by a lot of so-called straight men. And vice versa. A lot of men have been, hurt by a lot of women. So I don't know. I think, I don't know if gay men appear to be less threatening to women.
I'm also not scared of gay men.
Yeah, gay men just they feel so comforting and I don't know. I think a lot of women have been wronged by straight men, and so I think when they see gay men, they see it as a different type of man, and they're like, oh my god, I love you, you're so nice to me, majority of the time.
Gay men celebrate straight women, and gay men understand that women experience a lot of bullshit from straight men. So it's kind of one and the same when gay.
But you want to know something that's interesting about that? Is that gay dudes and straight women are both interested in straight guys. Because when you have a gay dude, they always have this fantasy of hooking up with a straight dude and making him come over to the other side, while the straight women always have a fantasy of taming the beast that lives within a straight man and kind of domesticating him and stripping him of his nature. It's kind of interesting how that works, isn't it?
Men and straight women shit on straight men. It's because straight men kind of suck.
Why do women think that if we have a female president, everything will suddenly become amazing?
Because women are amazing.
Does being a particular sex mean that you have to share certain politics?
No.
It doesn't matter if it's a woman or man. It just matters how educated they are and how they run the country.
Okay.
Why do women think that the men in power won't cater to women when they already have?
I think it's circumstantial. Like maybe they have in some things, but there's still certain things that maybe they haven't.
I just think they've done what they think is enough, but it's not enough.
If we live in such...
Okay, so if enough hasn't been done to give and cater to women, then what more do y'all need? For the feminists that come over, maybe the 3 or 4 feminists that watch my videos, leave some comments and tell me, what more do y'all want that y'all don't have?
In a patriarchal society, where did all these laws come from that protect women and punish men?
No idea, because I don't have any laws that really protect us, so I don't really know what laws protect me, because I don't feel protected as a woman, so I don't get that question either.
Well, like the violence...
If you weren't protected, then explain to me where the double standard and the chivalry came from. Chivalry was like an unspoken rule that catered to y'all and protected y'all. But y'all are the ones that walked away from that and say, you know what? We don't want to be up under y'all. We want to do our own thing. The guy stepped back and said, okay, cool. We'll change the laws and make it to where you can be included and do your own thing. Now you got that, and now you want to get rid of us. And then at the same time, you complain because we're not doing the things that we were doing before you had rights, freedoms, and privileges. So ain't that something? So you had it good over here, but now you want to come over to this side, and then you realize it's not all that's cracked up to be, and now you want to spin the block and go back, and we're like, nah, you made your choice. Stand on it.
Against Women Act, the family courts are typically biased against men.
Thank you.
I think it just comes down to what we've seen in history. It takes, like I said, it takes a long time to fix what's happened in the past, and so a lot of times these laws are put in place to help act as a catalyst to do that. But because right now, like as you said before, women are in a position where they are trying to become equal, and in order to do that, it takes laws to be set in place.
Why didn't women of the past all think they were queens with delusional dating requirements for men?
Because other women put that in other women's head, not realizing that's their standards, not yours.
How could this be considered female nature if it's changed?
Because it's not. I don't think all females are the same, personally.
I don't think it's their nature at all. I don't think none of the behavior of right now today is their actual nature. I think it's new habits and new nature from the new way that they live life, evolving and things like that, but I don't think this is natural at all.
I don't think they've ever been delusional. I think a woman wants what she wants.
All right, guys. You know what I always say. We got a septum piercing on the loose. Now, what do I always say about the septum piercings? Red flag, something wrong with them. Now, I just so happened to pause it while she was starting to say some nonsense. So I'm going to take it back a couple seconds. And we're going to see what she's going to say.
I don't think this is natural at all.
I don't think they've ever been delusional. I think a woman wants what she wants.
See?
And if it's money and a successful man, then it'd be that. If it's someone that just, does the bare minimum, makes her happy, then it's that. I think all women have always thought differently throughout time. It's just a lot of more women can communicate their opinions, and the ones that are very strong-willed and out there and outspoken are the ones that want more, you know?
If you are a man and you are broke, you should be embarrassed and you should be doing everything in your power to get up in the morning and get rich. You want to know, let's do a little analogy, right? Crackheads, they wake up in the morning and they will do everything in their power to smoke crack and get tweaked out by the end of the night. So if you are a man and you're broke and you do not get up and think, oh wow, I need to do something to make money today, you are pathetic because even a crackhead could do it. So you're actually just, you're
stupid.
Here's the difference between a productive member of society and a crackhead, ma'am. A crackhead is driven by that quick hit of dopamine that's not putting them in a position to improve their life, versus the man that has to get up every day. He has to put his pride and ego aside and take care of what's important, not only to build himself up, but build up the people around him and be a functioning member and contributor of society. So that's not even the same type of analogy, ma'am. So with all due respect,
stupid.
So then a crackhead's smarter than you, so you don't know what you're doing.
Is it easier for a woman to get a man to commit or for a man to get a woman to submit?
Easy for a man to get a woman to submit.
Why?
Nah.
Because if you meet the right woman and she has the right mindset and she connects with you, it's easy for her to listen and make the man feel, you know, that he's in charge.
Because if you're a top tier man, you already had the resource and accolades for a woman to automatically want to be around you. So if she want to be around you, she's willingly going to submit and make sure she's always in your favor. Especially when you are providing a certain type of lifestyle.
Okay. Why should women determine that a man leads before she will submit?
Because a man should be leading himself.
Yeah, you gotta already be doing that.
If she can't see that you're leading yourself, how you expect her to believe for you to lead her? It don't make sense.
Yeah,
Again, I think men should be the initiators. So I think men should initiate the interest in a woman, and a woman should decide based on the qualities of that man and how he carries himself, if he's someone that she respects enough to be in a relationship with.
Well, she's not going to submit until you lead. So you have to lead first, then she'll submit.
I would like to see submissive traits before I step foot out and begin to lead. You know what I mean?
So should a man determine that sex happens before he will commit?
Yep.
Hands down, 100%. Should a man determine that sex happens before he will commit?
Absolutely.
There you
I'm religious, so I don't think that sex should be necessarily a determining factor. I don't think that should be the sole reason why.
Okay, lady, you're going to say that you don't think that should be a determining factor, but if I show up on a date and I make you pay for it, you're going to use that as a determining factor of whether I get in the box or not. So let's not play this game. Let's not play this game. They have something that we want, and we have something that they want. And it's a battle to see who folds first. So don't sit here and try to act like it's not a determining factor on what you want to do versus what we want to do. Ladies, stop it.
Stop the cap.
Why anyone commits, man or woman.
You know, sex is important. You don't want to go committing and it ain't right. You go to committing to something and it ain't what you want, ain't what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't commit to it if it ain't right.
Do we fight race bigotry by telling blacks to sculpt themselves to become better slaves?
Honestly, that's a great way to put it, but
I've never heard that one.
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know.
Wow, okay.
Well, why do we fight sex bigotry by telling men to sculpt themselves to become better slaves to women?
See now, it's like, you feel me? We look at it and say that's different, but it's really not, to be honest, in a certain way when you really think about it.
Son, where'd you find
so
this?
How will self-improvement fix this sex bigotry against men?
I just think we all just need to preach equality, you know?
Nah.
So how is that not oppressing men's sexuality?
I think that men's sexuality is what you see everywhere. So
when you write, your tone influences how readers respond. With Grammarly, just highlight your text and type how you want to sound.
So it's not being oppressed. I've seen, as I was
it's
walking
not?
on the strip, I've seen plenty of naked women and ads for female strip shows. Those are all for men, right? So.
Right, but they're all for money. It's all about selling it. It's not about giving it away, right?
Thank you.
So it's profited off of.
Thank you.
It's all about selling sex, not, right?
Well, yeah, of course. Everyone wants to make money off everything. Gay or straight, whatever. Like.
I mean, yeah, sex definitely sells. I mean, you see strip clubs for men. You see all these outlets for them to release their testosterone, their natural emotions, their hormones. But I don't think you would see the same thing for women because it's not as profitable, and they want to take advantage of vulnerable men because. Yeah, I mean, men's mental health isn't talked about as much. I mean, the suicide rates for men is astronomically higher than the suicide rates for women. And there's been studies that prove that it is directly correlated to the fact that sexual drive and the effect that the sexual drive has on men is one of the leading causes and is directly correlated to the high suicide rates in men.
I don't think that's my problem.
But I'm just asking whether it's your problem or not. Do you think that society can consider itself sexually liberated when men are excluded, as seen in the rise of lonely, sexless men?
Well, why are men excluded?
What do you think? You don't know?
Because they're creepy, and women don't want to have sex with them.
Getting back to the masculinity conversation, why do you think it's so difficult for people to publicly advocate for the problems of men and boys?
Because victimhood doesn't work for men the way it works for women. We don't feel sorry for men. And rightly so, by the way. Rightly so. I mean, biologically, men are disposable in a way that women aren't, for the obvious reasons. If you have a tribe of 10 men, 10 women, you send the women off to war, you're screwed. You send the men off to war, one comes back, you can still replenish the population. Right. So men are disposable, always will be, much more than women. And so we don't feel sorry for men in the same way. And I'm not advocating that we feel sorry for men because I don't believe that's the solution to men's problems.
Right.
The solution to men's problems is for men to be better.
Well, I gotta say I agree with that.
You were on a previous episode of It's Complicated where you brought up the concept of male disposability.
Male disposability. We as a culture don't care about the problems that uniquely or disproportionately impact men. Male homelessness, 3/4 of men, male suicide, 80% of men, war deaths, 99.999% of men. We don't care as a culture about anything that impacts men. The best you'll hear is people talking about men's mental health, and it's always followed by so they can be productive and help the culture.
Male disposability.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together.
Disposability? What's that mean?
It means that men are the disposable gender. Women are the first ones rescued when there's an emergency situation. Men go down with the ship. Men are the first ones sent off to war.
Absolutely. I mean, males. We're naturally stronger. So we're supposed to be the ones sent off to war. We're supposed to be the ones that are the last ones to save. You know what I mean? We're naturally stronger. It's in our DNA to be strong. It's in our chromosomes. We were built different by God to be stronger.
The amount of men who've died over the years for other men's pet projects, right? Like we're so often we're cogs in the machine, and no one really cares at the end of the day. You look at our veterans who come back, you look at the homeless population, a lot of them are vets. They're chewed up and spit out, and no one gives a shit at the end of the day. We say, God bless our troops, but no one actually is looking to actually bless them and take care of them. I think the reason why men are often disposable is because we don't speak up to our value and our worth.
Why don't women typically approach men?
I feel like if a woman is confident enough and she feels like she looks really good right then and there, and she's not, maybe introverted or shy, she would definitely go and approach somebody.
If a woman chooses to approach a man and shoot her shot, is she more or less likely to be rejected than if the man approaches a woman?
Step into Wix Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises.
They got saved by the
and turn
ad.
website layouts into
I was about to hit that Don DeMarco on them.
I feel like men are more likely to be rejected.
Oh.
So why do you think that women fear rejection when they're far less likely to be rejected?
Because women are just more sensitive. They have more feelings into it. I feel like men, they're used to being rejected. They're used to being turned down, but women aren't. So when they get rejected, they feel it more personally.
What advice would you give to the men that fear rejection?
Don't worry
worry about it.
Why don't women just follow that same advice?
Exactly.
It's different. We have different emotions.
No. Stop the cap. Nah, don't sit up here and try to say it's different. Don't try to sit up here and say it's different. When you're trying to tell men, oh, no, don't worry about it. Just approach her, man. If you get rejected, no, it's cool. It's cool. But y'all don't want to do it because y'all don't want to be rejected the same way that you turn the guy down. You don't want to get clowned. You don't want to get made fun of. And you don't want the group of guys to look you up and down. And y'all don't want to get clowned if you approach a guy and you ain't what he's looking for. So stop the cap, man. Stop the cap.
Women just follow the same advice.
You are so good at this, aren't you? Because men are supposed to be the aggressor. I am not an aggressor, so I'm a woman. I think men are more aggressive, so you should come, you should do the approaching. And let me stay in my soft girl area.
Women want to be chased. They don't want to do the chasing.
So, related to that, if women approaching men is seen as desperate, why wouldn't it also make men look desperate?
It's a different ball game for men and women.
Oh, see?
As a woman, if you're approaching a guy, you're not in your feminine energy, you're in your masculine, and right off the bat.
Well, why is anything that women don't want to do labeled masculinity?
There you go.
Why do men choose soft, feminine, even plastic women over tomboys, and then complain about high-maintenance women who bring nothing to the table?
Because it's very intimidating when you have a woman that's very strong for themselves because it eats at their masculinity individually.
Here we go.
My opinion, I think that men want to feel dominant and in charge or manly, and so I think that's probably why they would choose those types of women over tomboys.
A woman in her feminine will never chase, she'll attract.
Can you define asexual?
Asexual?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Not attracted to any gender, I think.
Not attracted to anything?
Yeah.
Do asexual people experience romantic love, and if so, how do they express it?
I think so. I think asexual people can show romantic love in other forms of like love. You talk about like acts of service, gift giving, not love. Love isn't always sex.
If you're asexual and you're in a relationship, how would you know that you're more than just friends?
I think it's the type of love that you feel because there's platonic love and romantic love no matter if you're having sex or not.
Stop
I feel like the other person has to show it, and also like you have to have like that conversation with someone.
There's a deeper connection than sex in relationships.
So would you assume that asexual people are only compatible with other asexuals?
No.
No.
What?
I think if anything they'd be less compatible because they wouldn't be able to like truly show each other love.
What does it mean when people say that dating is more than friends?
Dating is more than friends in the sense that I think that dating is a game. The game is you're trying to show your best side of you.
Okay.
With friends, you can just scratch your balls, you can scratch your ass. I mean, I want to say all the way to farting, but I mean, you could be way more comfortable. But in a date, you want everything to be perfect. And so you're always conscious of that, which makes you be different.
If a friend expected you to provide everything, would that be a toxic relationship?
If a friend thought that I had everything to give to them with nothing given back, it is definitely a toxic relationship. And that goes for males and females all throughout.
So why is it considered toxic when friends become users, but it's normal when women expect a man to provide more than just his company?
Thank you.
Well, because in a proper relationship, you're both providing more than company, and it's pretty equal. Or you fill in the gaps. It's 80-20 one day and 80-20 the next day, depending on who needs more.
But it's normal when women expect a man to provide more than just his company.
Wow, dude, these questions are dope. Gotcha, bitch. Okay, I have no idea about that one because the truth of the matter is there are some women, and there's some, it's not all of them, that they would take advantage of a man's generosity.
Yeah.
But if they were just your friend and they're just taking it and they're not giving you anything in return, and I know like this is like a quid pro quo. The truth of the matter is you need to know by yourself what's good and what's not good for you.
Do you know any women who don't support feminism?
Oh yeah, a lot. A lot.
I do, actually. I'm one of them that don't support feminism
I believe everything that women are doing nowadays for their rights is a little too much, in my opinion. They're going a little too far with it.
Yeah.
Why do you think a woman would go against her own self-interest?
It's not a self-interest. Feminism is destroying females. It's destroying traditional men who used to stand up and be, catering to women and open the door and be polite. Now, because of that, men don't feel a need that they need to be polite anymore.
Were you aware that there were women who didn't support having the right to vote in 1920? They were called
anti-suffragists. Yeah.
I did know about it.
Yeah.
Why do you think those women didn't want the right to vote?
They probably felt the same way I felt.
Because it came with a lot of responsibility.
A little bit more strategic.
More men at that time were involved in the politics, stuff like that. The females, matter of fact, I think until 1972, 1974, women couldn't even get credit cards and stuff without their husbands signing. So I think at that time,
Okay. I hear this topic get brought up a lot about women not being allowed to have credit cards, bank accounts, and own land and all that type of stuff, right? But the part that people conveniently leave out is the reason why that was. And the reason why that was is simple. They were stay-at-home wives and mothers and homemakers. So if you're a stay-at-home wife and mother and a homemaker and you don't work a job, then why would you need a bank account? Why would you need to own land? And why would you need a credit card? If the man is the breadwinner and the provider and the worker, he has to go out and get the resources. So and he has to be able to provide a house for you. So it would make sense for the man to have the land, the man to have the bank account, and the man to have the credit card. It's really that simple. So it's like whenever y'all bring this type of stuff up, make sure you add the additional context to paint the picture properly instead of leaving out the important stuff to make it seem like the women were the victims all the time. Just make sure you add that part in.
20s, they understood. They don't have a dog in the fight.
Right.
At the time, I think that they were expected to do as the man says exactly. So they just followed with whatever their husband said. Their husband had the control, so they went with it.
There you go.
They just think more clearly when it comes to the politics. Women are too emotional for it, way too emotional for it.
There you go.
Women had traditional roles of taking care of the house. They're more nurturing.
I just said that.
They want to raise the children. They're going to be. A lot of those women understood, like, be at home more.
Yeah.
Right. The men went out there. They fought the wars. They deserved the ability to be in the political arenas because they fought those wars. So I think it's just a different mindset, completely different compared to today.
What is the purpose of shaming people in a multicultural country full of religious freedom?
I believe there's no point, because if there are multiple people from multiple different backgrounds, shaming somebody not knowing where they come from or how they were raised is kind of pointless.
I think it's negative. There's no point in doing it. And some people want to uphold their views or their values and don't like others. If everyone could stay in their own lane and not shame everyone, it would be great. But that can't happen just because the way we were raised makes us have a negative outlook on certain things regardless.
At what point does shaming infringe on the freedom of others?
When it becomes harassment, when it's assault, when it's just you're being bombarded by it. And of course, some cultures, not like myself, of course, experience it a lot more for different reasons, for their skin color, just being shamed for what they believe in, if they like a weird anime or art form.
When it impacts their decision making. So if the pressure of shame from society causes you to do or be something outside of what you want to be in your free will.
Didn't gay people have to fight to not be shamed by religious people?
Absolutely they did. And it's still prevalent now, but it's far less than it used to be. And I think they're far more accepted by religions and religious communities, at least here in my world. Of course, you're never going to fight a battle like that, shame. You're never going to take over the world with it just because people are so rooted in their values and their ways. And it's not easy to break out of that.
See, it's funny that they bring that up because the same group of people that had to fight to be accepted and recognized are the same group of people that are forcing what they want down other people's throats. Nowadays, in 2025, in the 21st century, the same thing that they were against, which is the shaming, is the same thing that they're doing now when you don't accept what they want and how they think you should live. See, when you have too much freedom, That's what happens. You let the small group have the biggest voice, and then they use their voice to shame other people and make you look like the weird one because you don't accept the lifestyle that they have. The irony. The irony.
So they did have to fight, and I think they will fight, and every other group, small or large, is going to always have to fight to not be shamed. And I think that's what gives them a sense of community.
Why are gay people more aware of how their clothes and behavior present to the world than the straight women who complain that revealing clothing shouldn't get them unwanted attention?
Oh,
I feel like gay
Damn,
people
son,
are more
where'd
of,
you find this?
embracing their self. Girls are more of like, you know, everyone has their insecurities, but gay people, once they come out, they're embracing it. They're, you know, confident in it, so they're gonna flaunt it.
Women are delusional. They believe in their brains that they're supposed to just do whatever they want to do and nobody else is entitled to their opinion.
There you go.
Why would a celebrity dress incognito if it didn't affect the amount of attention they got?
Yeah, they don't want to be recognized.
I feel like it would always affect the attention they got. If they're not dressed in incognito, they're going to be recognized. And they're going to be harassed and bombarded by groups of people.
Do you think that there's a correlation between that and how women dress versus how they're treated?
No.
Are men more thirsty for sex or are women more thirsty for attention?
Damn. I would say men are more thirsty for sex.
Nope.
Which one is more of a biological need?
I would say men.
Women are thirsty for attention.
There you
Women
go.
more thirsty for attention.
I feel like sex would be more of like a biological need.
Well, why is one any more shameful than the other?
They cancel each other out.
Well, from my
Stop the
personal
cap.
experience, men love sex. Like, they just love it. I feel like for women, a lot of the ones that crave that attention, they have like...
Wait a minute. This chick with the houndstooth jacket, she looks very, very familiar. She looks like this chick that was on a previous video where she was talking about how she would get unwanted advances from men, but when she was hanging around women, she never got any unwanted advances or something like that. This chick looks familiar. She looks super, super familiar. If I figure out which video it was that she was in, if I got the right person, I'll link the video so that way you guys can go check it out and see the part that I'm talking about.
Not all of them. I can't speak for like the population, but a lot of them have like issues with like at home. I mean, I can speak. I'm not like judging. Like, I crave attention a lot.
That's what they thrive off. Like, they need attention. They need attention. Like, men, we could go so long without talking to boys, without posting on Instagram. But women, they post in bikinis. Like, they need attention. They want the likes and the comments.